Good evening, class.
Good evening, class.
Okay, welcome to this class of economics. I know you still remember what we learned last on supply, and today we want to look at demand. So we want to start straight from the definition of the word demand. Who can attempt to define demand?
Okay, madam, I'll try you.
Okay, Daniel, welcome.
Okay, I can say these are the quantity, and these are the goods, and the quantity the customers are willing and able to buy after a given period of time.
Very good. That's a very good trial. So when we are talking of demand, we are saying of the amount of quantity the supplier is willing to supply, and the consumer is also willing and able to buy it at a given time at a given price. We want also to look at the law of demand. And when you're talking about the law of demand, we'll be looking majorly on two things, that is the price of the goods and the quantity demanded. So who can attempt to explain to us what the law of demand, basing on two items, that is the price and the quantity?
I'm going to try, madam.
Yes, welcome, Immaculate.
So for normal goods, whenever the price rises, the demand reduces.
Yes.
And whenever the prices are low,
Yes,
the demand increases because now many people are able to afford that particular good.
very good. That looks wonderful of you, Immaculate. The law of demand says that as the price increases, you need a lot of money to buy certain items, so the demand will go low because maybe you lack those amount of money. Our class will continue. Next, you look at the demand curve as shown in the graph below. You look at how the movement of goods demanded against the price is shown. That when the price, it explains the law of demand, that when the prices are higher, the quantity demanded are low, and vice versa, as shown in the graph. We have some of the exceptions to the law of demand that the law of demand will not obey. Some of these things, I want you to look for them. One of them is the inferior goods, articles of ostentation, speculative demand, and habitual goods. That's your assignment. You have to read along those lines, understand why these we are calling them exceptions to the law of demand. And then we have to look at the different types of demand. One of them is the negative demand. Another one is where there is no demand, latent demand, and seasonal demand. Movement along the demand curve we have shown in the graph below, as shown below. So we are talking of movement. How is the movement from point D to A, from point A to B? How is it, and how is it affecting the quantity and the price at that particular point? So that is the movement along the demand curve. We'll also be looking at the shift in demand curve, and we are saying that when there is change in quantity demanded, there is a shift. So the curve can shift from point DD to DD2, like DD1 to DD2, as shown in that graph. We are calling that shift, and like the other one, we are talking about the movement. So this is the shift. Okay, class, to that point, we want to know, or we want to remind ourselves what we have learned. Immaculate, are you in class?
Yes, I'm present.
Please remind us of what you have learned today.
We've learned about demand and the basic law of demand, which says that the higher the price, the lower the demand, and the lower the price, the higher the demand.
Wonderful. Daniel, what have you learned today? Thank you. So I've given you the assignment inside the exceptions. You wrote along those lines. And for today, we end there. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Okay.